Hello and welcome to Area Nerdy 1 starring me, Jimmy.
And Jimmy
And
2.0. I'm better than you. I'm just you, but better. And thinner.
that's
And
that's what mom and dad thought. Like, you know what?
We're gonna have a better one, but make sure he can't read.
Let's let's make sure he has tantrums in public. That'll be
Does that?
fun.
Yeah, he'll just get absolutely red faced every time he does something. Anyway, welcome back to Area Nerdy 1.
So they were like, let's make another one, but you were the Scorpius Rex. If you guys
I'm
are
not wrong. You're not wrong.
If you
I
guys-
just hate hearing it.
that's a Jurassic Park like deep track.
Yeah, that's
reference.
actually from Jurassic. We're gonna get into that, but that's a extended DLC edition of content you had to go into.
Yeah,
But,
you gotta spring for the Netflix expansion
The
pack.
next expansion pack, yeah, but it's definitely kid friendly. Welcome back to Area Nerdy 1, and today we're talking about dinos, the big dinos,
Bigger, better, more teeth.
badder.
So, all right, where do we want to start first?
Well, we got to start obviously with how else did you start your day?
Coffee.
With a big pot of coffee. So, Big Nerd Coffee Company just came out with a fresh brew. It's not the new brew, not a new brew, but it's just freshly brewed,
Yeah.
and cultivated, black as your soul. And so that's a dark. That's a dark coffee.
Is that the name of the coffee?
That is the name of the coffee.
But it also describes the coffee.
It also describes the coffee.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you know I'm gonna get some of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know I'm gonna get some.
Me
of that.
too. I definitely need it. I've been making my coffee. I've got a French press. I've been making my coffee like it's got like firmness to it now. Like that's how dark I've been making my coffee. It's like almost pudding.
Like you pour it out and then you can just like let go of the kettle and then walk away.
It like maintains the shape of the container for like a hot second before it settles.
Yes. That's the kind of thickness I like in that too.
Yeah.
And more importantly, you can order your coffee and anything else you want online.
Really?
On the website of bignerdcoffeecompany.com.
All right.
Yeah. So if you don't want to leave the house and you don't want to enjoy the great atmosphere and friendly customs of the staff down there at Bell's Country Coffee, order it online.
But you know what? You can't order online. They're bagels.
They're bagels. Oh,
yeah,
it's phenomenal. All the pastries as well. Their chocolate chip muffins. I'd kill you for it.
I believe it.
I'd kill them straight up on air.
I believe it. All right, now go check out Big Nerd Coffee Company. But let's jump right back into dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs. So a couple new trailers and pictures for the new movie coming out, Dominion. It's coming out, but
Jurassic World Dominion.
Jurassic World.
Let me see if I can find a good poster for this. Okay, you know what? Here we go. Let's start with this one. So so here we go. This was like one of the first things that come up. Like,
it wasn't a teaser. It was more like a.
It's like a clip.
It was like a clip. Which is a really long clip promotion for a movie.
I've noticed that movies have been doing this a lot though recently. Like movies will. Generally it's like right after a movie comes out, but I'll scroll through Facebook and they'll have like a whole ass scene of the movie, and like they never used to do that. Like you had to wait to go see the movie. And like sometimes they would release clips and stuff on YouTube after the movie came out, like DVD.
Yeah.
But I think this is a new trend. But yeah, so this was a thing that came out,
which was basically really well rendered. It was very good. I didn't like the lighting in it though. Like it was very dark.
But like in a way, it does make it seem like otherworldly.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, we were when we were growing up, we were spoiled with like Walking with Dinosaurs documentaries and stuff.
Yeah.
Where everything was fully lit and it was beautiful. So this kind of
Kenneth Branagh narrating the whole thing.
Oh, John Goodman narrated one of them.
Yeah, that was When Dinosaurs Roamed America.
Yeah, when Dinosaurs Roamed America, that was really good.
Yeah.
But this one was pretty dark.
Yeah. So. Yeah. If you guys don't know, like in the scene, you can go look it up on YouTube. It's basically, like a flashback. It's supposed to be like a flashback of the actual dinosaurs, like not clone dinosaurs. Like this is actual 65 million years ago. And I actually kind of took issue with it. Like, big surprise. These guys took issue with it. Not because I didn't enjoy the scene or anything, but like one of the things about Jurassic Park is that the dinosaurs don't have to be 100% accurate
Right.
because they're they're modern day theme park monsters.
Right, and of course they were heavily genetically modified in
Right.
order to be cloned as well. So the
Which-
fact that they don't look similar,
Which is actually a good thing because like we don't 100% know what dinosaurs look like.
Yeah.
Like every day we get more and more evidence. We know the good majority of them had feathers that we didn't know before, etc.
there's
Like T-Rex.
there's constant updates to what they would look like because for a long time we thought the Dilophosaurus was very gaunt.
Yeah.
And there's also been a lot of issues with what they call skin plastic.
Yeah.
Basically, how the skin on the T-Rexes and dinosaurs look very gaunt. You can see the skeletons and stuff. But they probably weren't. They were probably pretty fleshy.
Yeah, so I've seen these renditions go around social media a bunch of times. I love the idea of T-Rexes looking like fat burbs.
Fat burbs.
Yeah.
I mean, that would just be adorable.
I mean,
Just
right?
like giant chickadees.
Yep.
But the Dilophosaurus, we thought was very thin, but in fact it was more of a scavenger of like smaller prey. But in fact, it was actually it could tend with things with bigger than it and small and about its size.
Yeah, and it didn't have poison. That was entirely Jurassic Park.
No, it was just a really creative chimera that they made.
Yeah. But that's a funny thing because like I remember as a kid looking at you get like the big ass books with the dinosaurs and all the illustrations, and they would have their like Dilophosaurus. They would show it like spitting poison.
Yeah.
But that was Jurassic Park.
Yeah, there's absolutely no evidence. They just made that shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was told that one of the things that they thought about the T-Rex is that because its arms are useless.
Yeah.
So they didn't really know what to do with it. But then some people recently were like, well, what about ostriches?
Yeah.
Ostriches have small useless wings, but they use them for mating. Like instead of being down here, like modern T-Rexes are depicted as, they're probably up higher, and they use them for mating.
They're like backwards.
Yeah, like backwards.
I mean, backwards compared to where they're supposed to be. So,
exactly.
But back to my original point. So in this scene, we see it's supposed to be dinosaurs 65 million years ago, and the thing with Jurassic Park is like, okay, the dinosaurs don't have to look real, but with this, they're saying, okay, this is definitely what dinosaurs look like.
Yeah.
But the fact is that we don't know. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. For me as a dino hardcore fan, like it just it took that away from me. That aspect where it doesn't have to be 100% real, and that's fine. And in Jurassic World, Jurassic Park world, like even they don't 100% know what dinosaurs look like.
Absolutely. So what I was thinking is, well, first of all, completely understand. They did add some feathering to them, but it's very light. It's very
it more just like fuzz.
Yeah, it's more like fuzz. But essentially why they did that is it's recognizable. They already had the patterns there from the original T-Rexes that they made. And plus, hair is very difficult to CGI.
Yeah.
Feathers are a nightmare because they're like fur plus.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. What I would have thought it would be like if the trailer was, instead of taking place in the past, it's taking place in the present, and people are catching the mosquitoes and then cloning them from there.
Right.
But I have issues with the Dominion thing, and we could go into that.
You want to go over some of the dinosaurs that we see in the various trailers?
Yes.
Okay.
So first one I want to talk about is the Pyroraptor.
Okay. Hold on.
God damn it.
Second, I gotta find the thing. It's in here. Wait, there it is.
Yeah.
So Pyroraptor. That's on our
Pyroraptor. So that's one of the first actual raptors ever discovered.
So it's not something they made for the movie. It's an actual raptor.
It is the actual
species.
raptor. So, but it's a little bit. It's kind of about that size. I think probably we're gonna see this as kind of maybe like this is not gonna be the new bad. So we're gonna get into what the new bad guys are. I'm gonna get into it.
I really like this design.
I love this design.
Yes.
It's honestly like as a kid growing up with the raptors, those were very intimidating, especially the tiger stripe raptors, and then of course getting into Jurassic Park 3 raptors, phenomenal.
Yeah, that was like right after they had come out that they were starting to see that the raptors had feathers, so they were like, okay, that's the thing. They're like, we don't know what raptors look like, but we're gonna add the quills to like sort of go along with it.
Fun fact about that.
Yeah.
It's not that they discovered that. That was actually a discovery a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it was finally the consensus
Oh,
which
yeah.
was which was actually really big because the scientific community were like, we don't know what part of the family genus they really are.
Yeah.
Even by like 2002, people were still thinking, a lot of paleontologists were kind of under the assumption that yes, even though these have bird-like structures, they have to be, lizards.
Yeah.
But then by just before Jurassic Park 3, it was the consensus that was brought up that they all had feathers. Right. But I think those were only theropods had feathers, or maybe a variety of theropods, because Carnotaurus, my favorite theropod, did not have feathers whatsoever.
They know for a fact it didn't have feathers.
They did not. They found skin imprints from when they and it's just like this like very stubbly like scales. Mm-hmm. So there are dinosaurs that did not have feathers whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's just maybe a later in like the evolutionary chain. We don't know.
Yeah, it's so ask me from when I was 5 years old, I would have been on this shit. Like brushing up on my dinosaur skills, I realized I don't remember as much as I thought I did. When I was 5 years old, like I was going through all the dino information that was available at the time, and I knew all this stuff. But nowadays, not so much.
To be fair, there are literally millions of dinosaurs, and then there are also species that we have no idea. Yeah. Because also T-Rex, everyone knows T-Rex, but there are Albertosaurs. There are tons of other species that are, in the Tyrannosaurus family, but aren't Tyrannosaurus.
Right.
And there's all kinds of species that we haven't even found.
And they just recently were talking about like you say, it's not necessarily discovery. It's more like they start to look into it, and the consensus grows that there's actually 3 different types of Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
What was it? Let's take a look at it because I want to get this stuff.
Yes.
3 types of Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, so it's the standard T-Rex standard base model.
Oh, okay. Wait. Is that the default skins?
Yeah, that's the one you get before you get any DLC.
Okay.
And then you can get the bulkier T Imperator and the slimmer T Tyrannosaurus Regina.
Okay, so I just want to tell you right now that paleontologists either knock it out of the park when it comes to naming, or they are absolute dog shit.
Yeah. Well, they just choose the Latin name.
They go like, "Hey, let's name the next one the Imperator." Yeah. And then the next one, we're going to call it the Regina. There's no way that the internet's going to take off with that in any way whatsoever.
Let's take a look. You're the only one that seems to be doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So let's see. Tyrannosaurus. Yep. So it's Tyrannosaurus Rex, Imperator, Regina. All mean some form of like king or ruler.
Exactly. So what we liked about the Pyroraptor is that, first of all, the color is.
Go back to the Pyroraptor.
Yeah, we got to go back to the Pyroraptor because it's the feathers that is the big deal.
Right. This is the first Jurassic Park dinosaur where they really leaned into the feathered dinosaur,
and it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
I have issues with this movie. We're going to get into that later on, but this particular dinosaur looks really good. The next one is the Artosauraptor? Atrociraptor. So, also a really great name.
Yeah, so these guys, these are, I think, supposed to be the new big bad of the raptors.
Yep. So there is their pack leader Red, Ghost, Tiger, and White, I think are the 4.
So looking at the trailer, you can definitely tell they're different from any of the other raptors. They're a lot bulkier looking.
They're a lot bulkier. Their heads are a little slimmer.
Yeah, they've got bigger, meatier front claws. Etc.
Big meaty claws.
Big meaty claws. What did you just say?
I said big meaty claws.
If we ever get a chance to quote SpongeBob, we will.
Yeah.
And these guys are the ones that are chasing Chris Pratt's,
on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle through Milan.
Yeah. I'm gonna get into what I'm not gonna like about this movie.
But let's talk about the Atrociraptors.
So the Atrociraptors are showcasing another big issue with the movies is that their hands are pointing downwards.
They're pronated.
They're actually supposed to be kind of like, not like human hands, but they're supposed to be what is the other word for
supinated?
Supinated.
Yeah.
Where they can turn it because they're used for grabbing, and in modern media, they think like they would jump on and latch on, but it's more like a grabbing motion.
So there would be. Also, I kind of think of it like a bird of prey where they swoop in from above, where
Yeah, and of course that's where we come from the speculation from modern ancestors.
Yeah, I know exactly the position you're talking about where it's supposed to be.
How'd you know this?
I don't. I feel like I've seen a version of this. Did they was that how they did the raptors in King Kong?
They're not raptors. They're Ventosaurus.
They're Venatosaurus.
Venatosauruses.
But it doesn't.
They're pronated.
They're pronated. Yeah. We can talk about that. That's going to come up too. Jeez, we are all over the place. We're gonna talk about this, but then we're not going to talk.
But of course, if there's any chance to talk about Peter Jackson's King Kong, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie was phenomenal.
So I don't have any pictures of the Venatosauruses, which are they're basically. They look like raptors mixed with a T-Rex.
Yeah, which is kind of the point.
Yeah.
These are going to be like the big bad. I think they're gonna lean into the whole military aspect again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stupid. I'm gonna once we're done talking about the dinosaurs, I'm gonna fucking rip apart this movie. I'm gonna body this movie. It's gonna be a crime. Like there's gonna be like witnesses to it and everything. I am not excited for this movie.
Okay, well let's.
But I will skip them that. These raptors, Atrociraptors, look really good.
I do think that the design looks really good. It looks powerful. It looks kind of scary. All right, absolutely. So what next?
We got to go with the next big bad. We're talking about big bad.
Okay.
Giganotosaurus.
Is it Giganoto or Gigantosaurus?
Giganoto.
I've been saying that wrong since I was a kid.
You're casual compared to me, sir. I was watching Dinosaur Train, and that's how they pronounce it.
Giganoto. Giganotosaurus. Oh, yeah. So yeah,
the Giganotosaurus.
I thought it was Gigantosaurus. I took the O out. Okay, no. Giganoto.
Yep.
Or Giganoto.
Giganoto. I guess like pronunciation is potatoes.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is the big bad. So Giganotosaurus was much larger theropod than the T-Rex.
Yes. I remember the big thing was like when I was a kid, like, oh, does that mean it's more powerful than T-Rex? But then they were like. The main thing this is what I remember from being a child. Like the main difference they found was that the teeth of the Giganotosaurus were more blade-like. So versus the T-Rex was more like an ice pick almost. It was like a conical. So the T-Rexes were like had more powerful jaws and would probably like actually hunt stuff. Versus Giganotosaurus would probably just more like scavenge.
Oh yeah. So also it's depending on I kind of disagree. I think the serrated edges of the Giganotosaurus were kind of used for like wolf packs. Like they go after like larger dinosaurs like the Apatosaurus or something, nick them, wait, eat them. Which is kind of how wolf packs kind of work.
This is coming from, by the way, not experts.
I am on the like intellectual level for dinosaurs as the average kid in in a museum.
We were just talking about this though, like little 5-year-olds, like they have the thing they fixate on, be it dinosaurs, be it cars, whatever. Like anything else, they're like, why is the sky blue? Why shouldn't I stick a fork in the socket?
I don't know.
Like everything else, like they have no idea, but that thing they're fixating on, like you can trust them. You
oh yeah.
A 5-year-old tells me it's pronounced Giganotosaurus. Like I know. Yeah. You're right.
But the Giganotosaurus is much larger than the theropod, so this is going to be the big bad. Instead of the splicing thing that they've been doing, which is a good idea, but just... the Indominus Rex was a good idea. I just think it was in a bad movie.
Yeah. And then, so they're going back to basically just straight up dinosaurs, not trying to veer off with the gene splicing.
We don't know that yet.
Okay.
They could always fuck this up so bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, the odds are pretty high that they will. But I'm excited to see Giganotosaurus. This was one of my favorites as a kid. I always stuck with T-Rex, but when I found out about, it's bigger than the T-Rex, like, that was pretty awesome. Yeah. And the director has described the Giganotosaurus character as it's the Joker. But,
so basically it's going to be overblown, overrated, and be kind of vaguely entertaining.
But he said that he means that he wants it to want to watch the world burn, basically. So
It's a So it's the Indominus Rex, but less interesting.
Exactly. So I'd say it's more interesting than Indominus Rex because it's an actual dinosaur. But yeah. So it's an animal. Like you don't.
Yeah.
It's you
It's
give
a shark on land.
Yeah. So I don't know why they even are trying to give him characters. Like they walk around, they're big and they're scary. It's
straight up. Like if you encounter a Giganotosaurus or a T-Rex and it's full, it's just not gonna give a shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Jurassic Park. It's about the unstoppable nature, force of nature versus the hubris of man. Like nature doesn't give a crap. They'll steamroll you without any compunction or character. It doesn't have to have character. It just has to exist.
Exactly. Like it was in the first Jurassic Park. It was the fact that nature and these things are uncontrollable and they will escape and destroy everything. And then the second one is about how they attempting to even try to even control these things even a little bit is going to result in absolute chaos.
Yeah.
And the third one is just a banger.
Yeah. All right. You know what? Let's roll through a few more of the dinosaurs.
Okay. So let's see here. We might be getting a long-awaited return of the Dilophosaurus.
Oh,
Speaking
right.
of Dilos.
So we used to watch Jurassic Park a lot as a kid.
Oh,
all the gore, all guy getting eaten by T-Rex, etc.
Honestly, it's not that gory.
It's not gory. Yeah, it is quite scary though. But the one scene that I legit could never watch as a kid was the Dilophosaurus.
It's a pretty good scene.
Yeah, that's the thing about Jurassic Park. Like I'd say some of those scenes veer into horror definitely.
Oh yeah.
But it's like so well made that it's not like overt or like it's not. They do a lot with the setup and they do a lot with the atmosphere and just building scenes to make that scary.
So, in the books of the Dilophosaurus don't have the poison or the frill.
Yeah.
However, they're kind of like pseudo-raptors. They get about 10 feet long.
Uh-huh.
In real life, they get about 10 feet long. So they're big.
Yeah.
And they still make the chirping sound, which is really well done.
Yeah.
Like cinematography and sound design, that is a really good way to set up horror.
Yeah.
Just that chirping sound. It sounds so friendly and
and familiar. It sounds like a bird or just a curious little dinosaur. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The Dilophosaurus is one of my favorites. Just in that scene is really good. Because you feel and see Dennis Nedry's pain and fear in that whole situation.
Not only that, it so encompasses Dennis Nedry, he's a modern IT working human and now he's in nature. He is the one that doesn't belong, not the dinosaur.
Yeah. And he tries to just instead of hitting it with a stick or something, he goes fetch. That is such a modern thing. I don't know what to do in this situation. It's I also want to say that's a good parallel.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this, what's wrong with modern movie monsters is that they turn them into dogs.
Yeah.
Basically, Blue is a dog, Godzilla was a dog, they just turned these monsters into dogs. But the Dilo distinctly was not a dog. It was not friendly. It was not innocent. It's not innocent. It's an animal.
Yeah.
Not
to say the animals are bad. They are animals. They have their own, they're part of nature and
yeah.
You're not going to be able to reason or, innocent it away.
Yeah, no. I love dogs, but there's a big difference between a gray wolf and a golden retriever.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. And there's, and the thing I did like about Jurassic World was in the first Velociraptor scene is that these things that he's been training for years are just as dangerous to him as anybody else.
Yeah.
They might know him enough to hesitate in that situation, but that's it. And then they just went full blown.
It's a dog.
It's a dog.
Yeah.
It's a dog. Oh, Blue. Oh, Blue, come on.
Come on, Blue. Remember me. Mm-hmm. So,
do you think Blue's gonna get rabies and he's gonna have to take her out behind the barn?
Well, I don't think reptiles can get rabies. Or birds, right? Neither birds nor reptiles.
Well, technically they're more amphibian because they have frog DNA.
Well, either You think frogs can get rabies, Jarrett?
No, but I also don't think dinosaurs can get DNA. But these are clones. They get
Dino DNA. Every time we say DNA, you gotta say Dino DNA.
I don't know. One of the things also I think is very subtle that I don't think enough people talk about is the color change from the first movie to this third movie, especially for the Velociraptors.
Okay,
so especially for Velociraptors and other dinosaurs, because in
bring it out.
Yes. So this is a good transition to Blue and whatever Blue is doing.
It's asexual, reproducing asexually.
I think they cloned another one and give it, but like Blue's like okay. All right. Main point I was getting on is that in the first movie the Velociraptors were a very dull green because that's what they were.
Yeah, like dull green or brownish.
Yes, brownish. And then the northern tribe, or the grassland tribe of Velociraptors, are bright orange. It's really, really vibrant. And then the southern tribe, the tropical tribe of Velociraptors, are these vivid whites and blacks and blues and everything, which it was showing that in proper conditions they would just breed and create more realistic dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then also the Brontosauruses became more it was also an aesthetic design by the teams, became much more vibrant in blues and greens and stuff. Which I really liked, which is a pattern showing that nature is quite literally pushing these dinosaurs along.
That's why you see the Velociraptors with just the little bit of quills. Yeah.
And what I really like too is that the male Velociraptors were really, really vibrant.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, vibrant, and then the females were like a dull white and black.
Yeah.
Just like birds.
Yeah.
It was really good. And then you only really get to see Blue's colors.
Yeah. The other guy, Delta, Echo, Charlie, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't really stand out. They were all kind of similar.
They didn't really stand out. But the thing is too, in those scenes, they're dangerous. I mean, Blue fucking murked a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give her a baby and just be like, go out in the world. No, these are not like that was kind of like the whole point of Jurassic World is that these are not animals.
Yeah.
These are wild animals.
Yeah.
Those are very different concepts.
All right. All right, let's speed run through a few of the other ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got definitely Apatosaurus. That's going to be, it's the big sauropod, right?
Yeah, it's a big sauropod. It's basically taking the place of the Brontosaurus, which...
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah,
yep. Brontosaurus is maybe not a real dinosaur.
The year got those switched. The Brontosaurus does not exist. Brachiosaurus does.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's a Brontosaurus.
No.
Yeah, Brontosaurus was Dino, and Dino, like, the dinosaur that was Dino turned out to be...
Brontosaurus is the one in Jurassic Park. The one with the neck straight up. That one does not exist. Brachiosaurus does exist. You're full of shit.
Okay.
Look it up. Brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Most relevant activity, Brontosaurus, real dinosaur, question mark. Brontosaurus was a large sauropod. So I think that this one, like, stomps back to claim its status as a real dinosaur. So this is something I looked up for the show.
Okay.
It was...
Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus is a real dinosaur. Brontosaurus was not a real dinosaur, but now the jury's kind of out about it.
Yeah, that's the thing about paleontology. It's because we're dealing with dinosaurs animals that have been dead for millions and millions of years, and we have nothing really to study it by.
I mean, paleontologists, and the people who actually study these things are incredibly good at their jobs.
Yeah.
But you have to imagine, like, you have to first of all go out and find a site. You have to dig down, identify like where the soil sample you're in like was from in like the millions of years of history, and then hope you find a sample and then be able to find like where that sample is from.
Yeah.
So they're very good at the job, but this is not like an easy process where you walk along like, oh look, a fully functioning Tyrannosaurus.
Like you turn around and then there it is. Oh shit! And also like if you didn't know this, for fossilization, there's a process. So basically, the dinosaur has to die and be put in a certain level of soil and debris in order for the bones to fossilize. So there is a very, very small amount of the dinosaurs that have lived that become fossilized because it is a very rare process.
It's like being mummified. Like you have to have like these very specific conditions for that to happen.
And they were speculating like there are certain dinosaurs that died and lived and like thrived in certain areas that were not conducive to that like environment. So like there are whole species, and we have like half. Like there was like really frustrating ones where they had like really good intact skeletons, but it's only half of it.
Right.
You get like the back half.
So the back half turned out to be like a fish or a centaur thing.
Exactly.
But like not really, but yeah, I actually looked up some of the more recent like news in the paleontologist world and dinosaur world. We can talk about those after. Right now we're still talking. All right, let's speed run through some stuff. Okay, what else is in this movie? Allosaurus.
Allosaurus seems to be I think they showed it a little bit in Jurassic World, and then they showed it a little bit more in Fallen Kingdom. I feel like this is like a dinosaur that they really want to like.
They really want it to make an appearance.
Make an appearance, but they don't really know what to do with it because it's not T-Rex. It's not the Indominus.
Yeah, it's too big to ignore, but too small to have any major impact with all the other bigger.
Yeah, it's not a Velociraptor where it can like run through corridors, and it's not big enough to be like, oh, it's a T-Rex.
All right, let's see here. All right, here's another one. There is Dinosaurs. So we've seen. So this one, I remember right around the time Jurassic Park 3 came out. This was one of the more recent discoveries too.
Oh yeah, was that in the Walking with Dinosaurs documentary? Or,
yeah, one of those ones. But this was, I believe, when this is from way back when. It's been a while since I've looked back on this, but this was a dinosaur they were looking at and like, hey, this may have been like a dinosaur that was like transitioning from a carnivore to an herbivore, like a theropod to an herbivore, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool looking dinosaur. I'm really excited to see this design. We saw a little bit of it in the trailers, but I'm really excited to see this design in full.
This one was like because they base a lot of the traits and everything of dinosaurs based off of what in modern world. Yeah, it's kind of like closest to like most of the notably like Triceratopses and Triceratopsi family members are closely related to socially they think to like bison.
Yeah.
How they herd and how they protect their young, and yada yada yada, and like they think like velociraptors were kind of like more like wolves, not like coyotes, because coyotes actually have dens that they have close to their families, and wolves are kind of like more like they're social predators, but not like the point where they have packs, like where they stay.
Yeah, the packs are more like a family group that they tend to branch. They split off of.
Yeah. So when they found this, their closest approximation was actually a sloth, with the long claws, and it wasn't exactly a theropod. It definitely wasn't. Wasn't exactly a theropod.
So it's not like the typical herbivore.
It's definitely not a typical herbivore. So they're thinking like. Maybe it was a sloth, like they would eat bugs, and it was just like this big hulking thing just full of like fat and stuff, and just kind of like chillax, and then if anything messed with it, get shanked.
Yeah.
Get got.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Let's another one. We're coming up on the end of these ones. Okay, Dilophosaurus, we saw that one, a Velociraptor. I think that's all of them. That's from Jurassic Park 3.
Okay. So my opinion.
Wait, Parasaurolophus. There's Chris Pratt being a cowboy.
One of the things I hated Venom about was that it seemed like the characters were just doing shit. Yeah. Like there was just like no through line, but just doing shit. That's exactly what I think Chris Pratt is doing.
So like. Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna tear these movies apart.
Oh, I'm literally going to demolish this movie.
Okay. Let's do a little compare and contrast, shall we? On one hand, we have they're gonna show up in this movie too. The OG cast. We've got I'm blanking on names. Jarrett, help me out.
Are you serious?
Jeff Goldblum.
Sam
Neill and Laura Dern. There we go.
Yeah, Laura Dern. Okay.
So we've got
which their characters' names are. Dr. Alan Grant, Ali Sattler, and Ian Malcolm.
He had his whole ass movie, and I don't remember the character's name.
Yeah, Ian Malcolm, Dr. Ian Malcolm.
So these actors, and by extension, these characters, are they're dripping with first of all charisma and character.
Yeah,
they take some time to make. They're first of all believable. They're like regular people. you believe that they exist in the world.
And more importantly, especially my favorite scene, my actual favorite scene in movie history
Yeah.
is their lunch scene. It's not with the dinosaurs at all. There's no dinosaurs in it, but it's a character moment
Yeah.
where they go through one by one by one. I mean, you already get the gist of what they're going to think and what they're going to say and how they are, but you get exactly what they're thinking and exactly who their characters are, and it's a great scene.
Yeah. It's these so these characters have story versus the Jurassic Worlds are it's all plot.
I think the best way to sum this up is the original cast are characters.
Yeah.
The new cast are caricatures.
Exactly. So like yeah, so Sam Neill, he looks like a paleontologist. He's got the Indiana Jones hat, but he's not an action hero. They don't try to make him that. Versus Chris Pratt, I've never gotten this about the character. So he was in the Navy, but he's also apparently a paleozoologist who knows how to train raptors. But he also works on motorcycles. But he's also apparently now a fucking ranch hand.
Yeah, I got beef with Chris Pratt.
Yeah,
anyway.
but they just made this character basically to be like
everything
a propaganda piece, basically.
Yeah. The thing that made Sam Neill's character really shine was his dynamic with the kids.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a lot to read in there, because like creating life, having kids. But Sam Neill not wanting kids and then warming up to these kids throughout the movie is an awesome character.
Yeah, they have these characters have a character arc.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt's character, the guy you see walk into the first frame of the movie, is the same guy as you see as the last frame of the movie. There's nothing different.
Absolutely.
There's same. I mean,
Claire has a character development. She has it off screen though, and then but also she's still not a character throughout the movie. So like.
And the kids are really just there to be MacGuffins that have to be saved.
Now, if Claire was like the actual bad guy, like in the movie, and she's the one keeping the park open and keeping everything fine, and honestly, if the Indominus Rex wasn't as... So here's what I thought what really should have happened in the Jurassic World, because Jarrett's rewrite has to happen.
Okay, let's hear it.
First of all, in the scenes, in the control room, they were talking about the original park, right?
Yeah.
They talk about how the original park and the second site became basically ecological habitations after the movies, after the events, right?
Yeah.
So
where we meet my favorite dinosaur from the series, Dinosaurs.
Your favorite?
Yeah.
He's everybody's favorite. Actually.
Yeah.
I can't even. There's no gatekeeping because as we see in the movie, he busts through gates.
That's right.
So what should have happened is they're talking about what would as things are starting to progress, like what would happen if the park shut down. Someone has to come up say that there would be an ecological disaster if that happened.
Yeah.
First and foremost, because there are for every herbivore there is on that's character arc.
Character arc.
You need to have characters in your movie. Thank you, Olivia.
You can't. Yeah. So there's plot and story. You need to have a story, and then the plot, and the plot happens, but the story happens around the plot, versus just everything is plot. Okay, but Jared, continue.
So what I was saying is, if there's something that happened on the park, like everything opened up and blah blah blah, there are 6 carnivores on the island for every herbivore.
Yeah.
Because that's what sells.
Yeah.
So it's not just the danger isn't the Indominus Rex, is that the chaos it's reaping is going to shut down all the gates.
Yeah.
And the fact that they built this up as like a theme park to attract people is the thing that's going to get everybody killed. It's all the teeth, it's all the claws, it's all the hunger.
Yeah. Versus like in real life, there's maybe the real density for carnivores is like 1 carnivore for every 10 herbivores.
Exactly. So that is what the real danger should have been.
Right
then and there.
But so I finally found Isla Nublar was the second site, right? Isla Nublar was the second.
Isla Sorna is the second site. Isla Nublar is the first site.
All right, let's take a look here. So everyone remembers Jurassic Park.
It's site A. It's site.
Isla Nublar is a remote island. Blah blah blah.
Yep. That's the site A.
Okay. All right. So anyway, Isla Sorna is the second site.
And the larger island.
And that's where Jurassic Park 3 takes place, and that's where in the second Jurassic Park movie. That's where they make their own ecosystem, right?
Correct.
And then by the time of Jurassic World, that site has been it's been
Depopulated.
it's completely abandoned. There's no dinosaurs on it.
Yeah.
I was like, why is that? What? So I finally found, at least because they didn't really address it until I finally found an answer this past week. The answer was,
Did you not listen to me the last time we talked about this?
absolutely not. I did not.
I explained all this, but go ahead.
So basically they said that like you said, the ecology collapsed because of illegal clones introduced to it, aka things like the Spinosaurus.
Spinosaurus, the Ankylosaurus, the Corythosaurus, and some people are saying the new tribe of raptors as well.
Yeah. So basically, like Jarrett said, the very dinosaurs, the carnivores they introduced, caused an ecological collapse.
Yes, and of course the Ankylosaurs as well helped with that because there's no real predators that can deal with an armored titan like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I think should have happened in Jurassic World. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom is just a bad movie. It's another thing. It doesn't really make sense, and Dominion I feel like is not gonna be that. It doesn't make sense that people would continue cloning dinosaurs after that. So why are they there?
Right.
You know,
Well, like I said, so like, okay, these Jurassic World movies, it feels like half of them are a Jurassic Park movie, and half of them are an Avengers movie starring Chris Pratt.
Yeah. I can have a whole thing about Chris Pratt because honestly, outside of all the stuff going on in his like personal life that I have opinions on, but this is not the place for it. Ever since like he started getting big, Star-Lord is the only character he's played so far that has any remote personality, and it's all this. And then outside of that, it's the same ex-military guy that's really into something and does a thing.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Yeah. So
he's so fucking wooden. It's the same exact character.
Yeah. So a cast member that's joining this movie is DeWanda Wise.
Yeah.
Now she's got a long career spanning back many years. She's got a lot of credits to her name. But I think this is like the first major blockbuster movie that she's been in.
Yeah.
Her character's a pilot. That's all we know.
So
she looks amazing.
She is a phenomenal actress, by the way.
But I'm getting very Star Wars vibes from this character.
So this is actually I'm gonna listen to me.
Yeah,
listen to me on this.
Okay.
So like this is another issue I'm having with this movie is look at this. So she's in the middle of the tundra. She's about to kill something, literally, and she's going up against a Pyroraptor. It looks so staged. Like obviously it's a movie and everything, but nothing looks organic.
Exactly.
She looks perfect. She's not looking like she looks very relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like she's not bothered whatsoever. It looks like a photo.
Yeah,
in general.
She's supposed to be going up against
the Pyroraptor.
Yeah, I gotta change these pictures. Yeah, so she's going. So this is her.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going. But yeah, like it. That's the thing. Like when you try to make things look really cool, it makes them look out of place.
Right.
And that's what I'm worried about. Like they have a great actress like DeWanda Wise in there. They're gonna they're trying to make that half of the movie the Avengers movie.
Exactly. So one of the Jurassic Park 3 is not everyone's favorite movie, but however, all through that movie, these characters are put through the ringer, and at no point do they look like they're doing well.
Yeah.
So when you have an adventure movie, and the characters look like DeWanda Wise's looks like in that photo, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. So I think this movie is going to be successful. It's going to make a lot of money, but I'm going to hate it.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep things rolling.
Okay.
Do you want to? Do we want to talk about the real world dinosaur stuff, or do you want Jimmy's multiverse matchup?
Well, we haven't had a multiverse matchup in a while, so we got to start with that.
Time for Jimmy's multiverse matchup, the part of the show where I take two characters from different universes and we see who would win in a fight. Now, since this is dinosaur themed,
yes,
we're gonna talk about a couple of characters who would definitely fight each other.
Okay.
First
if
of all,
they were to meet,
yes. So first of all, from 2005's Peter Jackson's King Kong, the king himself, King Kong. 25
Andy Serkis's
rendition of Kong,
which is really what we should be calling it. Andy Serkis's King Kong.
Yeah, okay. Andy Serkis's King Kong, 25-foot tall gorilla versus the Indominus Rex.
How tall is the Indominus Rex?
It's like I think it was like 50. I forget exactly what it was. It's not as tall as Kong. Is Indominus Rex? Yeah, like I wasn't able to find like an exact time.
18 feet.
18. So it's 18 feet tall, 43 feet long.
Okay.
So it's a big dinosaur. It's bigger, I think, a little bit bigger than the T-Rexes that he fights in the King Kong movie.
He doesn't go up against T-Rexes. He goes up against
Vistatosaurus.
No, V-Rexes. So
Yeah.
Vistatosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
How tall are the Vistatosaurus Rexes?
I think they were the same size.
Look it up.
How tall are the Rex? 6.4 meters tall.
12. So about 15 feet.
Okay, so meters.
It gave us. It's right there. 12 to.
No, 20 feet.
Oh, 20 feet.
So yeah, they were actually a little bit taller.
Okay, so
but the Indominus Rex, as we've seen from Jurassic World, has intelligence, much more powerful bite, invisibility, longer claws and arms, and
much more useful arms.
Much more useful arms. I don't know how this would work against Kong, but it can cloak itself thermally.
Okay, so I do have where does this battle take place? Does it take place in Isla Nublar, or does it take place on Skull Island?
Let's make it interesting. Let's say it takes place in New York City.
New York City? King Kong.
King Kong?
Hands down. Hands down. He gave modern New York a run for its money. Hell yeah. So first of all, we got to look at King Kong. Okay. So first of all, he is the king of Skull Island.
Yeah.
And then we're not talking about polished Skull Island. This place is an actual hellhole.
Yeah.
It is full to the brim of nightmares.
Everything that is like the Old West. Anything that's not you wants to kill you.
Yeah, and he survived it his entire life.
And he's over 100 years old by the time of King Kong.
Exactly. So, but we have to look at his main enemies too. V-Rexes. V-Rexes are a little bit bigger. They don't have as much in the way of utility. However, if you read the extended universe book, the
Natural History of Skull Island,
yes, you would know that these things basically fight their entire lives.
Yeah.
V-Rexes are born and bred to fight.
Yeah,
they're really well armored, like the Indominus Rex.
Yeah.
They are hyper aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They're really aggressive. So he went up against 3 of these things.
Okay.
3 things. The V-Rexes are veteran battlers.
Okay.
Right? There are 3 of them, outnumbered him. And
he was carrying...
and he had something to do.
Yeah, he was carrying the blonde lady in his hand the whole time.
What's her... Oh, my God.
Naomi Harris? No.
Yeah, Naomi...
Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts,
Jeez.
but like...
Naomi Harris was just the first Naomi name that came to my mind. Naomi Watts.
What's the character's name? It's like right on the tip of my tongue. It's something...
what's her name?
This is gonna bother me.
Okay, let's look it up. God, we've got the fucking internet in front of us.
Andero.
Yeah.
Andero. She had to protect Andero throughout the whole thing too.
Yeah.
Right. So the I-Rex, the Indominus, is a really good fighter.
Yeah.
However, the Indominus Rex has never really gone up against another theropod, something or anything else that can really defend itself. It's, I mean, it went up against an ankylosaur, but
it gave the T-Rex the business.
Gave the T-Rex the business, but the T-Rex, aka Rexy, she's an old girl, and she's actually never been up against another theropod either whatsoever. The only thing she's ever really fought, or maybe some brontosauruses, some really sick triceratopses, and those velociraptors. So I mean, and also she couldn't. She had to use three other people to take it down.
True.
The V-Rexes are bigger. They're evolutionary. They evolved from the T-Rex. They're natural. They're born to do this.
Yeah.
millions of years of evolution past the point of the T-Rex created these things. The I-Rex is just like a hodgepodge of this stuff. Like,
But it can turn invisible.
it can turn invisible.
It's got an invisibility cloak.
Yeah, but like with all the lights and sounds of New York City, it's not going to be able to do it.
All right, that's true. What if we swap this fight over to the jungle? Let's
Jungle? Absolutely, hands down. Which jungle though?
let's figure it out. Let's put them in Isla Sorna so that it's the dinosaur jungle, but it's neither one's home turf.
Okay, so I think this is my own canon.
Mhm.
Is that all the trees on Isla Sorna were actually cloned as well, which is why they're so big. Basically, they have the lifespan of the dinosaurs, which is the redwoods and those giant tropical trees.
Yeah.
So over the years they've been growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
Perfect environment for King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the I-Rex can turn invisible, we've only seen her do it once, and in reality,
Plus, King Kong can smell.
King Kong can smell, and he's not that stupid. He has actually been fighting these things and fighting the horrors of Skull Island for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Literally.
But yeah.
It'll definitely give him a good fight and give him some new battle scars, but he is not gonna walk away with an L on this.
That's right. He's the king.
He's the king. He's gonna have a new island to be king of.
Peter Jackson's King Kong versus Godzilla. King Kong every time.
King Kong every time. Is it even a match? Nah, son.
Nah. Yeah. So okay, Jared's saying King. I'm also saying King Kong, but I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yes, look for the TikTok and vote online.
All right. All right. We're gonna have to run through these things pretty quick, but all right. Next thing that's coming up, dinosaur related, is prehistoric planet. So this I've been saying for a long time we need another Walking with Dinosaurs, and apparently Apple TV has granted my wish. I mean,
granted.
Look at this. This is like,
oh.
I mean, it's not the best rendition I've ever seen, but it's,
you know what, dinosaurs. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it all.
Remember the dinosaur like CD game? And had the claymation.
Yeah.
That was the top performance.
That was tight.
Honestly, if all your dinosaurs aren't claymation,
what are
you doing?
Yeah, unless it's inspired by Ray Harryhausen, I don't want to see it.
Exactly.
And then it's being narrated by none other than the incomparable Sir David Attenborough.
No.
Yep. And scored by Hans Zimmer, but David Attenborough.
Hans Zimmer. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
freaking brought the absolute fire fest that was the soundtrack to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
There's no reason he should have gone that hard.
And David Attenborough guided us through planet Earth not once, but twice. That's right.
I'm excited.
I really want to see this, but this brings us to the kind of the real life stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So this is interesting. So this is much more recent, but this is a leg.
This is a leg.
My leg. But this is really interesting. So this is a like they found in North Dakota. I don't remember exactly where. You can find it on
North
BBC.
Dakota is a hotbed for fossils, by the way.
Exactly. But what's interesting about this one, not only is it really highly intact, right? You can see it's really intact. It's got actual like skin detail on it. But they think this may be a dinosaur that was killed by the KT event, the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. They think that this now like that's like we mentioned, like it's exceedingly rare to find a dinosaur like within 1,000 years on either end of that. But like they think, from the evidence of like the surrounding area and the surrounding fossils, they think that this dinosaur may have been killed by the event on the day. Event. Yeah. So like
the actual 42K.
Yeah, exactly.
Y2K.
So you get a microphone up to that guy. We heard that you had first-hand account of that meteor hitting. What do you think? So yeah, it was really scary, and like I didn't think I was gonna.
Wait, are all dinosaurs in your mind like super British?
Yeah. I'm thinking of Creature Comforts.
Oh yeah.
Like the Aardman cartoon, claymation cartoon where they go around interviewing zoo animals.
Oh, I love that. I didn't know this at the time. I thought it was all staged, but those are like actual like interviews by Londoners, like people in London. I like the Puma one where he's just like he's just like laying there, and he's like.
So they've tried to make you comfortable. They try to give you a space. I need space.
Yeah, it's perfect. I
want to live in a hot country.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we forget David Attenborough and Walking with Dinosaurs. We just need like an Aardman animated like interviewing dinosaurs. Yeah,
like kids in like the fossil museums like that.
yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find because like they recently started like making like a whole series of creature comfort like
Yeah, like this like the mouse eating like the M&M.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's it all about creature? It looks like they may have one where they do. Okay. So look for that creature comforts with the dinosaur. I'm gonna look for that later.
Okay.
But all right, here's another thing. This is from a little bit further back. So this is a reconstruction, but this is baby Ying Liang. So did you hear about this?
No.
So this was an oviraptor egg that was discovered back in 2000. But it was in storage for a long time. But they were recently going through storage, and they found this oviraptor egg, and they suspected there might be like an actual intact embryo in here. And so they did scans on it, and sure enough, there was an intact. Like it didn't look like this. This is a reconstruction. So basically, you look at the actual fossil. It looks like the skeleton in an egg.
Yeah.
But like it's very well intact, and they were able to get this kind of reconstruction. And like these kind of discoveries, like boom, it hits me like. That's a dinosaur.
Also, it's a fun fact is that a lot of discoveries are not only just made in like the field or in labs. It's like there's so many bones and so many things that we've like unearthed over the years. They're just in storage. So when they go through it, they can find like the actual missing pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I remember watching a documentary like a long time ago. This may have been like 10 years ago, but like this scientist was like. He's like, I tried like taking a little piece of dinosaur like bone fossil and like dissolving it in acid, basically like dissolving it, and then like looking at the remains. And he's like, I think what I found were basically like particulates of like actual. He's like, leftover dinosaur bone.
Yeah.
And he's like, he wasn't 100% sure, but he was like presenting it, because like the consensus would be like bullshit. Like there's no way that it can last.
Oh fuck, it is.
Yeah, there's like no way it can last that long. But he's like, I think that this is leftover like dinosaur like protein.
Dino DNA.
It was Dino DNA. But that was a long time ago. I don't know if that was proven right or wrong. I want to look it up again.
I mean, to be fair, it is really really hard to get like even though that bone is calcium and rock is actual like rock and stuff.
Yeah.
It's sometimes really really hard to differentiate because certain things can calcify.
Right.
Like over time. So they just got to be careful.
Yeah. All right.
That's really cool.
So we're coming up on the end of the show. You want to speed round some of the stuff you wanted to talk about?
I can't speed round this shit. I'm long-winded. But I can try.
Okay, give it a shot.
So we're gonna try a new segment, which is Jared's recently reviewed.
We gotta get some audio stings for these segments.
Just like a spin decal. But this is where I recently get time to watch a movie or a TV show that's either come out really recently or there's so much content.
Yeah.
So I might just get to it. So one of the movie that I saw, which is the 2022 Death on the Nile.
Ta-da!
With
Kenneth Branagh,
Gal Gadot, and Emin McKee.
I mean, this cast is pretty stacked. Is Helen McCrory in there?
I think so.
Yeah. R.I.P. Helen.
Yeah, R.I.P. Who else was in it? He was married to Katy Perry.
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand was in it. All right, so
Russell Brand
for 200. So first of all, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. You can go see it.
A death happens on the Nile.
A death happens on the Nile, and it's solved. So my childhood and my brother's childhood was watching Masterpiece Mysteries on PBS
with the incomparable
David Suchet. My God, he was the best Poirot. Not exactly book accurate, but phenomenal.
Yeah.
So we were spoiled by this. This movie was made in the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was supposed to actually be shot in Egypt,
but
because of the pandemic, they shot it in England. So it's a lot of really bad green screens.
Okay.
First of all, the cast is really good. They act the shit out of it. Emma McKay, who is one of the characters, she is really, 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 really good. Everyone gives it their all. Okay?
Nope, nobody does not commit, apparently.
However, I don't want to seem like an asshole or anything like that.
I'm guessing you're about to seem like an asshole, though, right?
Yes. Gal Gadot is not a good actress. I'm sorry. If they need somebody that is attractive and has an accent, they get Gal Gadot, and that's it. I don't think she's a.
I have a bone to pick with you, good sir, but
Yeah.
I can see where you're coming from.
I don't think she wasn't like in this cast. Like this is obviously just like a throwaway movie.
Mhm.
The first one did pretty well, so we made a second one. But everyone did really, really well. All the characters are really good. Everyone acts the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot's just kind of there, being Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that the movie's not very well written either. Things just don't blend in very well. Characters and character motivations are not very good. Well, Sophia Okanodo, she did really well. She was one of my favorite. She was one of my favorite characters. But then Gal Gadot's just kind of like, she's just kind of. She was in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when Nature Calls.
Was she the princess?
She was the fucking princess.
The tribal princess. Yeah.
Amazing.
Those are very nice.
But Gal Gadot, unfortunately, I think that she is not a very good actress in general. And she kind of brought it down. The whole movie is not very good. It's painfully average with a really great cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna actually watch that tonight, so I think we can get that skipped.
Yeah, give it a watch. It's interesting because there's a lot of things that are because it's shot. There's like really bad shots, and it's like you're like, why the fuck would you do that? And then there are other shots, and you're like, damn, yeah, that's good. That's really good. And and then like other scenes are just really well done.
Well, it's either Death on the Nile or Dune, and I plan to be asleep in 2.5 hours. So
exactly. And then I was thinking back to the there's a part where someone is murdered, and someone it basically gets them murdered. But the one in David Suchet, the characters make a lot more sense, like how they die and why they die. The character motivations are there. This one, I don't think so. So I'm gonna give it, Jared's.
Like out of 5.
I mean, here's the thing. Because I think there are 1-star movies that you should definitely watch.
Yeah.
This is just a movie.
Like that's almost worse though.
Yeah.
Because at least the 1-star movies are notable because they're so bad.
Exactly. So being average is worse, but there is like it is either really good or it's really bad. I think it's just one of those movies, you know.
Yeah.
I want to give it 3 3 stars because there's a lot that works and there's a lot that doesn't. So like 3 stars doesn't mean like, oh, this is like better than 2 stars. I think there are 2-star movies that are better than this because what they do wrong constantly and they do it right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird, but you would kind of get
I know what you mean.
Yeah. This one's 3 stars. Don't be a 3-star movie.
Yeah. Get good.
Get good. Now, I'm not somebody who gets excited for some new stuff. Okay. I really don't. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the cynical person that has become.
Until Spider-Man: No Way Home came out, I had not been excited to go see a movie in the theaters since I was like 13.
When I was in the theater seeing Batman, I was like giddy.
Yeah,
I was giddy, but especially for shows and like recurring shows, like especially after a certain amount of time, I'm just like, yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
However, Stranger Things, the new trailer dropped, and I was awestruck. First of all, I'm kind of over the whole Goonies thing. I think Hollywood's played it to death. I think
kids riding around on bikes saving the world.
Yeah, we've never seen that before.
First of all, I'd like to point out that like as a kid who had to like ride my bike to get places, I would not have the energy to save the world after that. You know how fucking hard it is to ride your bike across town?
It is 80 degrees out here. You want me to get in the sewer? There's no fucking way, man. But Stranger Things season 4. First of all, one thing that Stranger Things really did really well is that their trailers are really, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever does those needs to be given a raise. However, I think the world building needs to be done a little bit better. That the whole Eldridge, Lovecraftian parallel universe needs to be like this. I think this is the point where we're gonna see it just like explode.
Yeah.
Which is I'm
Like-
excited for.
Like before, it's just kind of there, and they just like don't talk about it ever.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, there's a Lovecraftian universe of elder gods right outside our door. Okay.
Yeah. Which is exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh, we've always been teased with this shit.
Yeah.
We got Demogorgons. Now it's coming. Now it's here.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it.
Yeah.
I also thought Billy was a wasted character. I think there was a lot of potential there. Like, he was an interesting character. He had a lot of character. He could have had a lot of character growth.
Yeah, but also he had to go play Red Power Ranger again.
Yeah.
Even though they decided not to ever do that.
No, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good Power Ranger. Like, it's weird how good that Power Rangers movie was.
Retrospectively, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but we're getting off track. But basically, the guy who plays Billy plays the Red Power Ranger.
Yeah, and this, I'm really excited for it because I think it's going to be a lot darker. I think we're going to see I really want to see Eleven's dad come back. One thing I don't want to see is the Mind Flayer take over his body.
Okay, first of all, what's his name? Papa is Eleven's father. David Harbour's character is her dad. Let's get that straight right now.
He should have died. I'm sorry. First of all, I think everything in this, if you haven't seen this trailer, go watch it. There's like a gladiatorial arena, and I'm like, there for it.
What?
I was like, when the teaser came out that he was like in Siberia, I was like, this is bullshit. Him in Siberia? No. Him in Siberia in a gladiatorial arena with a bunch of like...
So he just becomes Red Guardian and they merge the two universes.
With a bunch of like rowdy pipers in it, with spears going up against the Demogorgon. Yeah, I'm there for it. I'm here. I'm currently available.
All right.
But this is something I'm really excited for. It's been like, what, 2 years?
3 years?
2-3 years since it came out, since the last season came out.
Season 3. That came out in 2016, so
2016?
It's been like 6 years, yeah.
Jesus.
How are these kids still teenagers?
How are these kids still kids? Oh, I mean, they're jumping right into high school, so I guess, like, yeah.
I was like 9. I was a teenager the last time it came out.
Yeah.
Now I'm near 30.
Oh my god.
It's like,
oh my god.
It only came out 30 years ago.
Jesus.
I remember seeing this in theaters.
But I'm excited for this. This goes on really bad. I hope some of the kids die. I'm like, I am ready.
Oh god.
I'm ready for that. Will should just die. He's just useless at this
Will
point.
Byers?
Will Byers, shut up.
He can't die. Like his mom will like breathe, darn you.
Yeah.
His mom will show up with the jaws of life to dig him out of that car and like freaking resuscitate him. There's no way she's letting him die.
Oh my god! What if they like White Walker this shit like, like fucking what? Not Naomi Watts. What's her name?
Oh god!
Jesus! Stranger Things cast. It's right there. It's right there. It's right there.
Fiona.
It's right there. The cast.
I'm having some trouble.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, Jesus.
Winona Ryder jumps out of nowhere, gets caught midair, and stabs him with like a phone or some shit.
Stabs him with a Walkman because it's the 80s.
Remember?
I mean, but is it though? Because it's been like a million years. There's no way it's still the 80s.
No.
Like it was 1985 when they had the last series, and that was 6 years ago. So now it's 1990.
Oh my god. Time's a bitch.
Oh god.
They're in the 90s. Oh my god. Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really excited for it. I hope it's good. You know, which is good.
These kids are like 25 now.
Oh my God, Millie Bobby Brown's like, no, how old is she? She's 21 now, isn't she?
I don't know. What's his face? Finn Wolfhard?
He's 19.
Huh, yeah, so they're all like, he's going full Timothy Chalamet. But
Yeah, dude's got cheekbones. You could cut glass on him.
But we digress. Okay,
Yeah.
we're way over time.
Yeah,
now.
we're way over time. Thank you for my rants on this. I'm ready for Stranger Things. It's been a long time coming. Oh my God.
Yeah.
How did
6 years?
6 years?
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try to get this done sooner. Like strike while the iron's hot. Maybe it got delayed for
Well, Millie Bobby Brown was like big, so like she was, and all the actors got kind of big. Winona Ryder got a lot of offers too.
Yeah.
So like the whole cast was off doing stuff.
Right. That's fair.
No.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my multiverse matchup on TikTok and check us out for the next show. Things are a little crazy right now, but we're going to keep trying to have at least a consistent schedule coming out.
Absolutely. And of course, make a nice order at Big Nerd Coffee Company. The coffee's always fresh, and the people there are always fresher.
Join the fight against corporate coffee. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It's corporate.
God, we're trying to be professional here.
We're not professional.
All right.
Or anything but professional. We went over time.
We
didn't have a show for 2 weeks.
We talked about dinosaurs for an hour and 10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jimmy.
This has been Jarrett.
And I'm just going to delete all